Right, because the Syrian Empire got took down, you know what I mean, by the Babylonians, you know what I mean? But
and a man's heart was given to it.
a man's heart was given unto it. In other words, it was that king at that time, you know what I mean? That the Lord set up a king at that time. I think it was the Babylonian Empire.
It say, and behold, another beast ascended like to a bear, and it raised up itself on one side.
Right, now when you said the second, like into a bear, all right, the bear represents the which you consider the Medo-Persian Empire. Now, you know, you often might hear Medo-Persian, but that was actually two different kingdoms, you know what I mean, that they went to war with each other, and then the Persians came out on top. That's why I say it had one paw. It said, bring that part back.
A second like to a bear, and it raised itself on one side.
Right, which represented the Persians, man, because the Persians came out victorious over the Medes, man. That's why I said, because the Medes were separate, then the Persians were separate. Then when they came together, the Persians overtook the Medes, and that's how you got the Medo-Persian Empire. That's why I say it raised on the side, it just represents the Medes, the Persians taking over the Medes.
It say, and it had 3 ribs in the mouth of it, between the teeth of it.
Right, now those 3 ribs, is I think it's Egypt, Babylon, and Lydia. The water, bro. Yeah, Egypt, Babylon, and Lydia, because those were the empires that the Medo-Persians overtook, man. Because you gotta realize when you deal with the scriptures, and they all talking about rulerships, man, and people taking over another group of people, and a certain king being set up. That's pretty much what the scriptures going into when you go into the deeper breakdowns, man. All right, go ahead.
And they said thus unto it, arise, devour the flesh, devour much flesh.
Meaning that's gonna go around conquering. Go ahead.
After this I beheld, and lo, another like a leopard.
Yep, that's the Greek Empire, all right. Even when you look up histories, Alexander was known to ride on a horse. He had like a leopard sheep, like a leopard skin on his horse. You know what I mean? But
it say, which had upon the back of it 4 wings of a fowl. The beast had also 4 heads, and dominion was given to it.
Right, you know what I mean? Like I said, because when you go through history, you're going to find out like a lot of generals and stuff like that, like they was given like prominent positions and stuff like that as well. Go ahead.
After this, I saw in the night visions, and behold, a 4th beast.
Yep. Now that 4th beast is the Roman Empire, all right? And I said this one we about to get into like on our topic.
It say dreadful and terrible and strong exceedingly, and it had great iron teeth.
Yeah, the iron teeth represents their military. And 2, when you look up something else in the Roman Empire, they pretty much they damn near perfected like the iron. You know what I mean? That's what it said. The iron teeth. A lot of their armor, you know what I mean, that was made of iron, weaponry, stuff like that. They pretty much came like they made iron reach its pinnacle. You know what I'm saying? You know, go ahead.
It say it devoured and break in pieces and stamped the residue with the feet of it.
Right. Now I said it did what?
It devoured and break in pieces and stamped the residue with the feet of it.
Right. In other words, that was a tactic that the Romans used. It's one of how they broke up sections of the empires that they were taking down, and they took it down by like gradualism, like slowly but surely, isolating certain areas and then taking that area down, then isolating the other area and taking that area down. And that's what America's doing, man. That's why I said, because when I'm gonna go back to it, this what that Greater Israel plan is about, man. I'm just getting a little bit more into it, man. It says going back, because remember it said the Roman Empire it divided and stamped and breaking pieces the residue thereof. In other words, the Roman Empire went around conquering land masses by breaking up sections until it conquered the whole area. And that's what America's doing. But it says, going back to the article, it said, when viewed in the current context, including the siege of Gaza, the Zionist plan for the Middle East bears the intimate relationship to the 2003 invasion of Iraq, the 2006 war on Lebanon, 2011 war on Libya, the ongoing wars in Syria, Iraq, Yemen, not to mention the political crisis in Saudi Arabia. the Greater Israel Project consists in weakening and eventually fracturing neighboring Arab states as part of the U.S. Israeli expansion project. Like you see how that links, like, to bring it back, man. It says the Greater Israel Project consists in weakening and eventually fracturing neighboring Arab states as part of a U.S. Israeli expansionist project with the support of NATO, which is the beast, you know what I mean, a revelation, and Saudi Arabia. In this regard, the Saudi-Israeli rapprochement is from Netanyahu's viewpoint and means to expanding Israel's spheres of influence in the Middle East as well as confronting Iran. You see that, man? So they like this, and this plan been this shit been on the books for years, man. Because one thing too, Esau, what he do, he ain't like how Jake is, man. How Jake kind of just going the spear with everything just on the fly. Esau got everything planned out to a T, man. You know, and that's just how he operate, man. Even when you look at how Esau, dance and all that, like he real talk, bro. He counting. It's like a step, like 1, 2. Like everything is always strategic. He ain't like Jake, man. Jake be slow.
That's crazy. I bet you brought that up because if you think back on what you mentioned with Iraq, what he did to Saddam Hussein, you know, that's over there in that area. So he conquered them first.
Yep. It's went into it, bro. I got to
conquer them first. Like he went over there, you know. He said they had weapons of mass destruction. All right, they ain't find a firecracker over there, but what they do, they still killed Saddam. All right, and then what they set up, they democracy with their military bases over there.
See, it said right there, it said, when viewed in the current context, including the siege of Gaza, the Zionist plan for the Middle East bears an intimate relationship to the 2003 invasion of Iraq, 2006 war on Lebanon, 2011 war on Libya. And like I said, it wasn't by coincidence, man. That shit was set up all to lead to what's going on right now, man. Like when you follow politics, man, it's like the shit get kind of confusing, but when you ultimately look at the bigger picture, it all come together.
When you filter it through the scriptures.
That too. That's the most important thing. And when the Lord, open your mind up, because some brothers, you know what I mean, every brother ain't got that understanding on how shit geopolitics. But you gotta understand some basics, man. We ain't experts in that shit. We ain't, we just understand like the basic things that's going on.
That's why Esau got his military bases and everybody all over there, man. Because that's divide and conquer.
Divide and conquer. The stamping residue. The Roman Empire, like I said, the brother just read it, Daniel 7:7, man. They use the same methods. That's why America is known as the revamped or the revised version of Rome, man. They operating off the same playbook. You know what I'm saying? It's like they use the same methods. That's why even when you look at the architectures, that's the spirit, bro. Yeah, that's the spirit. Everything they copying off Rome, man. You know what I mean? Like that's why we talked about the political system. Yeah, divide and conquer algorithm works by recursively breaking down a problem into 2 or more sub-problems of the same or related type until these become simple enough to be solved directly. The solutions to the sub-problems are then combined to give a solution to the original problem. See, that's beautiful, man. That's why you read the definitions, man. Like you give a broader understanding, man. But that, like I said, going back to the point. That situation over in Iran is going to escalate, man. All right, now, will that lead to more things coming up in like the next couple weeks? We don't know, but we are hoping. You know what I mean? Because shit is starting to pick up more.
This is the year of prophecy.
Yeah, like I elder named it, the year of prophecy. So Lord willing, shit kicked off by the time. Cause remember the impeachment. They already impeached him, but now the Congress they got to make a decision on Trump on whether they're gonna ultimately get him out of here now or in November. So we waiting on a lot of shit to happen, man. Give me a half a piece about it. I already know. That's the first chapter. Yeah, finish that out.
It say, and it was diverse from all the beasts.
Right. Remember what we talked about earlier? The reason why Rome was diverse because of the political system. They instead, like I said, instead of operating off a monarchy system where they had a king set up, and then like you get the son to step up, what made it separate was Rome was gonna have a political system where you had to vote for your leader. Now, and then America, it does the same thing. That's not by coincidence, man. When you go to, who is that? You go to that Maccabees, who's that first Maccabees, 7th chapter, about Rome set up democracy.
Yeah, this is first Maccabees 8.
Give me first Maccabees 8. Directly to that book.
that were before it, and it had 10 horns.
And nigga, your EU right there. You know what I mean? But during that time, it was known as like different names. You know what I mean? The ancient names, like the Anglo-Saxons and the you got the poster right there, but the Anglo-Saxons and all them and the other names, the older names they had.
You said Habakkuk what?
Two, you started from the top. You can't find it. But see but that's what we dealing with, man. We dealing with pretty much the end of Esau's rulership, man. And Esau, he pretty much knows it, but what he's trying to do, he's trying to buy time. You know what I'm saying?
He's trying to upset prophecy.
Yeah, that ain't gonna happen, bro. That ain't gonna happen. Most already got his ass numbered. That's why we read it earlier. You do not stir nor move the said times, man. We just, like I said, we just gotta wait on the Heavenly Father, man. You know what I'm saying?
This Habakkuk 2:1. I will stand upon my watch and set me upon the tower, and I will watch to see what he will say unto me, and what I shall answer when I am reproved.
Right. So the Lord set up Habakkuk as a watchman. You know, what does a watchman do? You watch for the prophecies, man. You watch for the things that the Lord spoke about, man. The Lord, he spoke about certain things that's gonna take place. Our job as watchmen is that you gotta watch to see what's going on. And I said the problem with most people, what they gonna get caught up in, they caught up in the bread and circus, man. And when you look up bread and circus, it's pretty much deal with distractions, man. And that happened during like Nero, like the Roman Empire, man.
It said, I was just looking up this definition of the word watchman. It says here historical, a member of a body of people employed to keep watch in the town at night.
Yeah, so you know, you want to say
That goes back to your point too about the Roman Empire being like America, like them stadiums that had like this, like the basketball stadium.
Coliseum.
And two, they you look up you ain't gotta do it, but it's called an amphitheater. You look up an amphitheater, it's the same thing, man. Yeah, gymnasium, all that gymnasium. You
Calendar.
Calendar. You can read about gymnasiums during First Maccabees, man. Yeah, highway, newspaper, yeah, bro. All that shit came from Rome. You can still get that. Hold up.
Well, this going into basically when Rome setting up a democracy. All right, this First Maccabees chapter 8 and 13. It says also that whom they would help to kingdom those reign, and whom again they displace finally that they were greatly exalted. Yet for all this, none of them wore a crown or was clothed in purple.
Right, purple. That's the sun that it represents like royalty. Because remember, they threw purple on YAHAWASHI. That's pretty much mocking them. But every time a lot of the Caesars, Roman Caesars, they wore purple, and it was something that was kind of hard to get during that time.
And when they was in that monarchy stage, you know, the kings would wear crowns.
Matter of fact, it's gonna go further into it.
All right, it says, yet for all this, none of them wore a crown.
Right, like the brother said, yet for all this, none of them wore a crown.
Or was clothed in purple to be magnified thereby.
Keep going.
Moreover, how they had made for themselves a senate house.
You see that? They made for themselves a senate house. Go ahead.
They made for themselves a senate house wherein 320 men sat in council daily, consulting always for people to the end they might be well ordered.
You see that? So, you know what I mean? And this is like the Maccabees was during the Greeks, but you know, like they eventually transitioned the Greek Empire over, you know what I mean, and to like pretty much a democracy, man. All right, when the Roman Empire came on the scene, man. So all that's in the scriptures, man. And like I said, how you correlate with what's going on now? America operating off the same thing, man. They had the Senate and all that shit. You know what I mean?
Plebeians and the patricians.
Yeah, the plebeians and patricians. When you go to Revelation, I think it's the 13th chapter. They talk about the two horns, which it goes into nowadays the Republicans and the Democrats, man. Which the plebeians and the patricians is like the modern day Democrats, and the plebeians is like the common folks. You know what I mean? It's like the Republicans. They're like common, you know, regular, average, blue-collar workers, so to speak. And then you gotta say, it all ties in, man. That's how it is.
This Ecclesiastes 1 and 9. The thing that have been, it is that which shall be. And That which is done is that which shall be done.